Apparently we're live. We're not supposed to be. But okay.
Well, that messed up the recording.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go unlive.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go live.
What?
We're just gonna go live. Don't mess with it. Gonna go ahead and go live early, I guess, because YouTube software is so good. Let's see, am I on the mic? Should be. Test, test.
Well, they're going to see us 20 minutes of chatting.
No, it just went live just a minute ago.
I know, but when it gets recorded, and there'll be 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll cut it out.
So we're live early.
We're live early, for whatever reason. Can you check the audio, Dad? Sorry guys, we're kind of scrambling here. Randomly, YouTube decided that clicking get ready for stream is going live now, I guess. So I'm gonna have Dad check the audio and make sure that we're doing okay. And we'll go ahead and jump
I
at it.
hear you.
All right, so welcome to Mo and Joe Early Edition. Can you flip that around so I can see myself? You can watch me on the laptop screen. So I guess we're early today. Normally we would start these at 10 a.m. Central, but I guess 9:42 Central is close enough. Today we're going to be working on a post for a mailbox. My post for my mailbox is falling over. It's also just like a simple one that's made out of like pressure treated lumber or whatever. I wanted to build a nice one out of cedar. Not sure how far I'm gonna get into it today, but we'll try to get started. I probably won't go all the way till 11 since we started a little bit early. I think an hour is about as much as I can stand of myself, and probably my dad too. But while we're getting tuned in, I guess let me know in the comments if you guys are hearing me and seeing me all right. And Dad, can you go into the settings and switch it from unlisted to public again? I put it to unlisted, but everybody was already here. And since I've already got 9 people here, I didn't want to disappoint you guys. I can do it. It's right here, edit. We'll take it from unlisted, we'll go public again.
Mark says we're okay.
We're doing good. Okay, thanks, Mark. Let me send it a quick tweet to the nobody that follows me on there, but whatever. We're live on Mo and Joe over on YouTube. Building a mailbox post.
Maybe we need to start early all the time because we already have 7 people on.
Wow, I got friends now. That's cool. So I'm gonna build this thing. We'll get started on that in just a minute. Kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown. So I did just release a video yesterday. If you haven't seen that yet, Ted, can you come a little tighter on me? Can you zoom in a little bit?
I can't see with the delayed.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I released a video yesterday. I went through my dust collection setup. I did that kind of traditional upgrade from a Harbor Freight 2 horsepower setup to a 4-inch Cyclone from Oneida. I added a canister filter, and then I got the whole system all like piped into my actual shop. So now I don't have to drag flex hoses around my shop. You can check out that video if you're watching this live. Just watch it later. If you're watching this after the fact, I'll put a link to it down below in the description. But yeah, it's a pretty fun video. The big question that kind of came out of all of it, you can flip the screen around, Dad, if you want, that's fine. The big question that kind of came out of it is like, is it worth it to actually do all those upgrades? They're so expensive when you add them all together. I mean, you're talking, I think I said in the video like $400 or $500, but I found out when I was editing, it's actually closer to like almost $700. And at that point, I mean, you're only a couple $100s away from buying like an entry-level Cyclone. So watch that video, see what you think about it, let me know. The next video out is gonna be, if you can follow me over here, Dad, I wanna show kind of the progress on the workbench so far, is gonna be this oak workbench. So I'm still gonna flatten the tops. I've gotta finish the Shosugiban on the bottom. I've got these pretty cool little gold inlays of epoxy into the legs. It's gonna be super beefy. Each of these legs are 5x5. And then it's got 5x3 stretchers. So just like absolute beast of a workbench, you know, not going anywhere. Pretty excited to finish that thing up. Hopefully in the next couple weeks, definitely in the next month. Hoping to get some video edit done and get all back to that. Because of the random early start, I haven't had total time to prep for the Creators of the Week, but I will be sharing some people at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And without any further ado, I guess let's just jump into the project. I'm going to try to do this whole thing with just hand tools. So I've got my Dovetail saw / crosscut saw. I think I'm actually going to go get my bigger one over here. Un momento. Yeah, I get a big sloppy one for this. And then I'm gonna need a chisel. Get a big fat white chisel for that. And a chisel hammer. Okay, so the first piece of this that I'm gonna do is going to be half lapping these two pieces together. So I actually drew a little drawing that I did to get started with. So I had a couple key measurements to figure out. One was going to be how high the mailbox needed to be off the ground, and that's actually available as a reference in USPS's documentation. So it's supposed to be 46 inches off the road or off the ground. It's not totally clear, but pretty sure off the road. So I did 41 to 46 is what they recommend. A regulation mailbox is 21 inches deep, 8.5 inches wide, and 11 inches tall. And I wanted to have a little bit of overhang up the top, so I'm making this top piece 15 inches. And then I just wanted a 6-inch cantilever off the back. I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but I do want to also add this truss to hold up the front just for a little bit of decorative detail. And then I've got 2 feet of extra post to go under the ground so I can set it nice and firmly under the ground. So I've already got these pre-cut to length. Now it's really just a matter of cutting out the half lap joints. And I'm going to use one extra thing that you probably saw if you follow me on Instagram, that I'm a huge fan of, is this little guy. This is the Jonathan Katz Moses Dovetail jig. And what it does is it's got a magnetic guide on the side here. So you can set it right on your work in the proper orientation, of course. So there's the 90-degree orientation. So you can use it for 90s or for angles. And then you can just use that magnet to set you into your kerf line. So I've marked already my depth. Just need to get down to there. So this is a Japanese style saw. It cuts on the pull stroke. I'm not using it particularly graciously because this one's all clogged with glue, to be totally honest. I use this one mostly for flush cutting, but this cedar is really wet, so I didn't want to ruin a clean blade. Normally, Japanese saws cut super, super easy and super smooth. And once you get deep enough, your kerf will guide you, so you don't need to mess with the guide anymore. Can you see me okay from there, Dad? Do you need to move at all?
I'm zoomed in.
Good stuff. So I pre-marked out on my post here where the halfway mark is. That way I can get my half flap proper depth.
You might show us how that thing works afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do another example. I've got plenty more cuts to do. All right, so there's one cut. Okay, so here, I'll show you how this thing works going to the other cut. So basically it's got two reference faces, two flat reference faces there and there, and one of them cuts down at a 1/6 angle. And then if you flip it around and reference the other face, it cuts down at a perfect 90. It's got little magnets on each side. So you can also reference off these angled surfaces. I've never done that before, but I suppose it's something you could do if you need to do a compound angle. But I mostly just use the 90 and the 1/6. So I'll set up this other cut here. So I want to use the 90. So I'll use this flat reference surface and the 90-degree reference edge. So it's got some pretty strong magnets in there that'll hold your saw in place. And then you just line up the blade to your kerf. You still want to try to go in as controlled a motion as you can. I mean, they're strong magnets, but they're not that strong. It's just the equivalent of having like a well-calibrated fingernail guiding your blade in. But Jonathan Katz is a great guy. Go check out his channel. He's definitely been one of the creators of the week. He's been doing a lot of really cool stuff with like slow motion, looking at the saw stop and looking at a couple cool things in woodworking. I'll share those videos in the links once this goes live. Almost down. It's really hard to see my marks on this. I should have probably used like a white grease pen or something. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of the bulk from this. One of the nice things about cedar, well, this cedar in particular, is it's very straight grained. So once you cut the width, it pretty much will just break along the grain lines. So I don't have to cut everything in. We'll go a little bit shallower. So you can pretty easily just break it along your kerf lines there. Once you've established that kerf, it's no big deal.
Mark thinks your workbench is really nice and steady.
Do you like this workbench? It's super good. Maybe you're talking about my new one, but this one, where I'm sitting on a Rockler plywood carrier, is not really that great. It works great for carrying plywood, but it's not that good for a workbench. But, you know, you make do. I'm just establishing the baseline with just shallow cuts right now. So like I said, I went ahead of time, kind of pre-marked everything. Mark, what kind of workbench are you working with? Are you working with a piece of plywood on a cart? So what's everybody been up to this week? Anything interesting going on? While I build, it's nice to listen to what you guys got going on, if there is anything. My dad can read all the comments to me as I work, so feel free to comment while I work.
Jay Bowden says you got really nice content, man.
Hey man, thanks. I appreciate it. I've been working at it. It's been like 3+ years now, so I try to keep things interesting. It's been a little hard during this whole quarantine thing, I always joke with people at work. They're like, how are you handling the lockup? And I'm like, it's not really the lockup that I'm worried about, you know? I'm kind of a lazy homebody anyway. But I signed up to do 2 jobs. So I don't know if you guys know, I work full time. But going into lockdown now, I'm working full time. I've got the YouTube channel going on, but I'm also a stay-at-home parent all of a sudden, and I'm doing homeschooling, none of which I signed up for. But I love hanging out with my kids. It's just, it's difficult when you didn't plan for it. Go from the other side here. Yeah, these live streams are fun. It also keeps me productive because, like, you know, planning out a project every week isn't exactly a simple undertaking, but it's fun to keep yourself moving and challenge yourself to build something every week. I highly recommend it. Let me remark the baseline on this side. What are you guys building? Anybody build anything interesting this week?
What is everybody doing to stay sane?
Yeah, anybody got any recommendations for staying sane, or any good makers that have come up through all this that you're following? I've seen a lot of people that used to not make as much content that are making a lot more content. I know I've been doing a lot more live streaming, which has been fun, but I've seen a lot of people that have, you know, that were full-time YouTube, and they're like, hey, everybody's stuck at home. I'm gonna keep it entertaining, so they're putting out a lot more content, which has been interesting. But then this whole mid-roll ad thing on YouTube is really bugging me too. Because, yeah, sure, it makes you more money, but I think it kind of starting to make the experience a little worse.
Mark wants to make sure it was about your new workbench, not your
Okay, okay.
wobbly workbench.
Yeah. The new workbench is going to be really nice. I'm really looking forward to using that. This is kind of a pain in my butt. But, you know.
He's planning on building a new one as he bought a Andy Klein's twin turbo.
Oh, man. Have you guys, I mean, I shared them a while ago, but if you guys haven't seen Andy Klein's workbench that he's building for Adam Savage, it's sick. I saw the plans for it when he was putting it together, and yeah, that's going to be amazing. I don't know how the steel, I'm sure he's accounted for it. Andy's a way smarter dude than I am. But I don't know how the steel and the wood's going to interact, but it's going to be just a beefy, like super strong bench. And then the vices he makes are amazing. I almost bought one, but for this workbench, but he couldn't assure me I would have it by the time that at the time I thought I was going to finish.
This is an error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
All right, let me come check. Technical issues. Hang on.
And also, I didn't know, he says,
I got money. Wow.
You got your money, he just wants to go, do you get my donation?
Yeah.
So you can thank Bowden.
All right, something's going on with my video stream. Let me figure something out here real quick. Let's see. Can I go to 2500? Is the stream still coming out okay, guys? Thank you, Jay Bowden. I see your 2 contributions. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Let me know in the comments if the video's coming through okay. On our end, it's saying we're having some sort of technical issues, so I don't know. My internet's not great out here. So if I'm either not getting comments or if I get a comment that says everything's okay, I'll be happy.
Now we're back in excellent condition.
Okay, good. So we're alive. Must have been an internet cloud went over us. Can everybody see the stream okay? We had an error just a minute ago. I really can't wait to get better internet out here. We live like close to civilization, but not like in civilization. So sometimes we'll lose our connection.
Jay Bowden says, all love from the UK.
Hey man, all love for the UK.
You tell them you're a real job boss.
Yeah, I work for Refinitiv that used to be Reuters and Thomson Reuters, and we're still based out of London, so work with a lot of people from the UK. I'm on calls with them almost every day.
Fred's routing to install magnets in a pin board frame for his wife and flatten the bottom of a Stanley block plane.
Well, I did a video on flattening a Stanley. I do highly recommend that when you get started, just put it on a lapping plate and see where the high spots are and mark those. And if it's not too bad, just do it all on the lapping plate. But if it's gnarly, make sure you use some pretty aggressive sandpaper on like a flat stone or a piece of plywood to get started with it. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to take forever. Mine took a long time because I wanted to do it all on the lapping plate because I was an idiot at the time. Masochist? I don't know. So right now I'm just removing the waste from my half lap. So this is a 4x4 cedar. Makes it super easy to remove material with a chisel. It's just super soft, but it's super straight grain, so the chisel doesn't wander on you too much. My only issue here is that I didn't clearly mark my baseline on both sides. I just marked it on one side. So there's my pencil. That's unique how you did that. So I'm just going to clearly mark my baseline again. Oh, first I got to make sure this setting is right. Yeah, that's it. And since this is like large for format joinery, I'm hoping to get it as tight as possible, but I mean, it's not going to be, dovetail fit. So we're going to do the best we can here. If I was doing for like a super, super precision fit, if it wasn't going outdoors and I knew it wasn't going to just move all the time anyway, I'd use my marking knife to lay out these lines. But since this is going outside, it's going to constantly be getting wet and dry, so it's going to change the size of all of the orientation of the wood all the time. I'm actually joining it wet for a reason, because this should be the most expanded that it will be. So, I mean, I could do it dry, I guess, either way. Either wet or dry for this kind of joinery. But if I make it super tight wet, it'll be loose dry. If I make it super loose dry, or if I make it a little loose dry, it'll be really tight wet. So I hope that makes sense. But the wood expands when it gains moisture. It contracts when it loses moisture. All right, just pairing to my baseline now. At this point, I can double check my fit, make sure I have all my markup lines correct. Oh yeah, that's a good fit. Okay, now I've got to do the same thing to the other side over here, and then I'll tune up the fit. Then we'll have the basics done. And then it looks like we're making pretty good time, especially since we started early. So if we can get that all done, maybe we can even get to the point of doing...
Going through some buffering again.
No. Well, if we get to that point, we can go ahead and work on the truss as well. points, one line. And on these, I'm cutting on the inside of the line. So leave the line, basically. Yeah, so the wife and I, we just bought an RV yesterday. We've been stuck in the house, you know. I'd say as a family, we're open back to stage 2. But the public schools just announced that they were going to do the entire semester from home. So rather than being trapped at home the whole rest of the lockdown, the whole duration of the virus, we decided to buy an RV so that we can do the homeschooling on the road, so that we can get out on more vacations, to see more of the United States, more of Missouri. Should be fun. I linked a picture on my Instagram if you want to see the RV we got. But hopefully, I don't know, we'll find a way I can fit a tour in or something of it onto the channel once we get it up and running. Or maybe I'll do I'll definitely be doing some projects to deck out the RV. So stay tuned if you want to see stuff like that. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that if any of you guys are RVers or campers, let me know if there's anything that you found super, super useful in your camper RV. I am excited about it though. I can't wait to see the reaction of my kids. I already told my wife that we're doing the cross-country, like 3-week road trip, and she's pumped about that too, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just remember as a kid watching Goof Troop and watching him and his dad drive across the country, and I still envy that. So I look forward to doing that with my kids. I think that'll be a good time. I was smart this time and actually laid out both baselines before I started chiseling, so this might actually work a little better. So if this was like pine or something, you'd probably want to just do a bunch of kerfs before you chiseled it out. But with cedar, it's just so easy to chisel. You'll think yourself a hand tool superhero working in cedar. Except for right here for some reason, it's being a jerk. Oh, those pop out from the other side anyway. Now, if it weren't for cameras, I would be working over one of the legs, as pointless as this is on this bench, but it does get a little bit more stable as you move over one of the corners of the structure. Right now I'm actually on the cantilever, so there's no hope. So I apologize for the loud noises. Anybody have any plans for coming week, this weekend? Did you do anything fun? I know I'm supposed to be entertaining you, but feel free to entertain me as well. Love to share you guys' stories if you've got anything interesting.
Fred said he used 150 grit on a plane of float glass, and yes, it took a while.
Yeah, 150 grit's going to be a gnarly trip there. I would have probably just jumped in with like 80 to start with. You'll have some gnarly scratches to deal with, but scratches won't really, I mean, it depends on if you're going for like a daily use plane or a show plane, but yeah. If the scratches aren't going to really impact the quality of the work coming off the tool. So I would have started with 80, just to protect my sanity a little bit. But I've done 150 in the past. I've done 220 in the past. I've done just like a 1,000 grit diamond plate because I thought I was being cool. But no, that's not the case. You're just wasting a bunch of time. I'm really hoping this is gonna be some sort of like miraculously amazing fit. I'm pretty sure it will be. Pretty sure it's not gonna be too bad. So I did to lay this all out is I first marked like the center points of each of these using some calipers. Then I took that measurement, transferred it to a square. Then I marked the baselines so that I could take out half the material from each side. And then should make for a good half lap. And these are my $5 Aldi's beater chisels, which I do really like. They sharpen up really easily. They're nice steel. They hold a decent edge. And for working in wet cedar like this, they're perfect. It's the, as they teach in textbooks, stabbing, chiseling motion you're supposed to do. I'm kidding, of course.
That's after using 1,000 grit. And your patience is gone.
Yeah, that's when you're patient.
Start stabbing with a chisel.
Yeah, you just stab with a chisel. That's how you remove the material. All right, working down to my baseline on this side. I'm just gonna go through and establish it. Some light chisel blows. And when you're establishing your baseline in cedar, because cedar is so soft, it's really just to tell the wood where to break. It's actually already breaking even with these light taps. So I just went ahead and actually cut my baseline there. We're good, got that. This is the same way you could notch a deck post if you wanted to be really fancy about it. I'm actually designing another project I'm working on. I'm redesigning all of these street signs for my neighborhood, and we're figuring out how we want to orient the posts. And it's the most 3D rendering I've honestly ever done for any project, which surprises me. But the people in the neighborhood want to see exactly what everything's going to look like. They want to know the heights. They want to know orientations, and so they want to be able to judge all that stuff. So I had to model how I planned on setting each sign and each post. I had to model each sign. I had to model the different sizes. I had to look at the orientation of a 2x4 versus or a 4x4 signpost versus 6x6 signpost. I'll probably do a video on that at some point.
You filing intellectual property rights?
No, my neighborhood has kind of natural park themed signage because we're like back in the woods. But before they just done hand carved signs, not like hand routed, not hand carved. But I'm using my CNC, my X-Carve, to actually do proper national park font on the signs. And then I'm adding a little bit of a flourish just so that they look finished, and so it doesn't look like a hand carved sign again. The guy that did them before did a great job. No knock on him. Just they're old and it's time to renew them. So I'm gonna do them on 2x6 cedar, and they're gonna be finished in lovely national park brown and yellow. So that'll probably be this evening's work to get started on printing the first sign, because the sign in the front of the neighborhood fell down. I think my microphone's facing the wrong way. My daughter just came and visited. I think Nana's playing hide and seek, and she might have won.
He's out in the shop.
So yeah, that's going to be another thing I'm working on this month. Pretty excited about it though. It'll be nice to put my stamp on the neighborhood. Hopefully that lasts a long time, because it would be really embarrassing if they didn't. It's kind of one of my things that I think is undervalued in a lot of like intro woodworking, like DIY level stuff, is a lot of people don't take into consideration the kind of things you can do to make things last longer. So like, yeah, great, you made a version of an IKEA piece of furniture for cheaper, But is it better? Is it going to last longer? You know, or at least did you learn these skills out of doing it? Because, you know, not every piece of furniture you're going to make in the beginning is going to be great, but it'd be nice to at least build some skills. Okay. Hopefully that should be enough to get a nice, lovely fit. You get this in framed out? Is this all? Got it? Okay, so hopefully we're fitting pretty darn good here. Let's see. Line everything up. Don't spill my coffee. Whoop. Crush my tools. All right, let's see how we're doing here. It looks like I might have cut the mouth just a little bit narrow, which is not a big deal. No, it seems like it's not fitting. No, it's not fitting. All right, so I need to cut just a smidge off the edge of this mouth here. I think I didn't quite cut it wide enough. Yeah, pushing a little bit of wood in. But that's easy. It's another nice thing about this jig from Katz Moses, wherever I put it. I wish you would have made it neon instead of clear. Anyone can see it in frame, let me know. This is that usual trying to find the tool you were just using 5 seconds ago. There it is, fell on the ground, found it. But then I can take just a smidge off either side. I think I'm gonna run off this side. Make sure I'm in the right orientation. All right, so I'm just gonna take off just a smidge. You could do this with a chisel otherwise, but it's nice to be able to just precisely do something with a saw. Gotta be a little ginger with it. I don't think I'm actually set up to cut anything, that's why. There we go. All right, maybe with a chisel anyway. I think I have too little to get off, honestly. So I'm just gonna pare down one of these edges. I'll mark a line to go to. Actually score a line. Any comments, Dad?
No comments.
No comments. So when you're scoring, do the first couple passes really light.
We've been through 2 or 3 little buffering things,
Oh no.
but it's okay now.
Okay. Well, I apologize for my internet, guys. You can blame AT&T. They don't have a "can you hear me now" guy. My dad's used to work for AT&T for like 35 years, so that's as much as dig at him as it is to you guys. Busted out the sidewall there.
So all your viewers just went to 0.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because slapping around AT&T.
Oh, that must be it. Yeah, the evil overlords must be taking some movements. AT&T just shut off my internet and the government's on their way. See how we fit now. All right. Yeah, that looks better. Let's see if we can hammer it home. All right. There we go. No glue necessary. Well, we did get a little bit of bust out there, but whatever. Okay. So there's the basics of your mailbox. So I got the half lap joint going in here. I'm probably going to put a peg through the front here so that it'll tighten everything up. And then I'll probably put a truss off this side. I don't know if I have time for that today. What time is it, Dad?
Well, we've been on video for 41 minutes.
Yeah, I'll probably lay out for that. I don't know. I think I need to do some, I don't want to rush that, so I'll probably put that off for another time. But gist of a mailbox, or a simple half lap joint, however you want to look at it. So this is going to be where the box goes. This is going to be cantilevered. I'm probably going to go ahead and like bevel off the edges here, so it's got places for water to run off. And yeah, it's also, I guess it's a cattywampus cross if you're into that kind of thing. Good stuff. I think that's enough for today for those. Let's get into some of the creators of the week. Thank you, sir. Get me untangled my laptop here. Okay, it looks like we still have a stream, so that's good. To you 8 folks that are still with us, I appreciate it. Yeah, I apologize, Fred, for the stream buffering. Yeah, I'm sorry, trying to figure that out. And let's check out the creators of the week. So I want to share you first Jonathan Katz Moses, because I just really appreciate all the work he's been doing. Dude's a rock star. He doesn't need me to help promote him, but he's awesome. Go to scene 2 so I can share screen. Is that working now? Yes, it is. Okay. Wait, I don't think it is. All right, screen. I'm over here. Yeah, got it. Okay, so this is Jonathan Katz Moses' YouTube page. Definitely check him out. The one thing I wanted to really highlight that he's been working on a lot is he was working with slow-mo cameras to show the effect of lots of things. The one that I thought was craziest, I think he's got millions of views on. Hang on, let me find it. This how safe is a saw stop video. This is really cool. This is like slow-mo guys level cool. If you haven't seen slow-mo guys, I don't know what you're missing. Or you don't know what you're missing. So what he did is he actually triggered a saw stop several times. These awesome mid-roll ads that YouTube loves to put in now. And he triggered at like, I think 10,000 frames a second, triggered several saw stop triggers so you could see how fast it would actually protect your fingers. Hang on. But yeah, he went through several triggers with a dado blade. It was the first time I've ever seen it trigger with a dado blade, and showed you exactly how the mechanism works and how fast it stops the blade. I mean, the amount of car wrecks that the equivalency that the saw stop's equivalency of, just really amazing. Another creator that I've been following a lot of has been Woby, which I'm sure you guys all know as well. His videos are just so chill, and he has some really cool ideas. But recently, and I really want to build this one, recently he built a... So normally he works with broken skateboards. So he'll take the skateboards and he'll turn them into, various different designs. This one he actually made a tension arm for a camera tripod out of just plywood. I mean, he didn't use broken skateboards for this one, but he provided all the plans, all the layouts, and how to cut it either on a CNC or how to cut it just at a bandsaw or how to basically all the tools. I just really love the style of his videos. This is a very utilitarian one, but he's also done some just really crazy cool stuff. And his shop is awesome also. It's a shipping container. I think he's from Seattle or somewhere in the Northwest. But yeah, he made a mallet out of recycled skateboards, a tattoo out of recycled skateboards. He's made a bowl blank, a baseball bat, a guitar, really cool stuff. I like when people have that unique use of material. It's something that I haven't gotten into yet. I'm still working with just straight up hardwoods. I haven't figured out like one hard.
The screen to everybody?
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Are you not seeing it? It should be the screen. I might be in the wrong setup. Transition? Does that work now?
Second. About 7-second delay.
So we were watching the Saw Stop Saw. My dad says that we weren't sharing properly before. I think we are now. Let me know in the comments. Am I sharing my screen now?
Now you're sharing the screen.
Are you seeing a silly ad for pots that water themselves?
Yeah.
So yeah, Jonathan Katz Moses, he was sharing the super high speed camera shots of how a saw stop works. Definitely go watch the full video, but it's amazing to see a saw stop triggering in slow motion. Watch this. Triggers, boom. And that could have been your finger chopping off, but instead it's the blade just dropping into the saw. So that's really cool. And then the other one I was sharing is...
if you're going to test that, make sure it's with a hot dog and not your finger.
And then this is what we designed. This is what I was showing you. So he made this awesome camera jig. I love his video style, and his shop is really cool, a container shop, and just tons of cool projects. I wish I had a material aesthetic like he does. It's just really interesting to watch. And then the other guy that I've been following a lot this week has been Jackman Woodworks on Instagram. So he's on YouTube as well, but he's been doing a lot of Instagram stuff because he's moving shops. But he really just tickles the video production side of me, and then also the woodworker. He's a very talented woodworker, but he kind of has turned into a guy that does it for the memes. He's super talented, but he just does it for fun now. So he recently made like this puzzle board for a total boat, you know, some pallet wood. He's got a similar like aesthetic style where he's working with pallet wood only, but it makes for a really interesting visual aesthetic. He's made, you know, skateboards and all kinds of stuff. But just recently, I've been incredibly jealous of him because of his amazing boathouse shop in, I believe it's Maine or Massachusetts. I think it's Maine. But anyway, an M state in the Northeast. He's got it's an old boathouse. It even has like a bell. Off his back balcony from his upstairs woodworking shop, he's got a view of the ocean and boats coming in. It's not too bad. His wife works for the Coast Guard, so he's been moving around a lot. But he just released a shop tour video on YouTube, or just check out his stories on Instagram or his posts. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, Paul Jackman, check him out. I'll set up some links to all this stuff below once we... Okay, I'll set up some links to all this stuff below once we get this posted. Sorry, everything kind of got flipped on its head this morning for whatever reason. YouTube changed the way they do this, but yeah, episode 12. I'll now open up for some Q&A if anybody's got anything. Hopefully you guys all survived all the technical issues, like buffering and disconnecting and everything, but it looks like we're back on stream, so... Anything you guys got, any questions, any tips, any video recommendations, any project recommendations for Mo and Joe, throw those in the comments now. I see there's 6 of you there, 7 now. So many people. Thank you guys, all of you that hung out to the end of the stream. Really appreciate it. But if any of you guys have any questions or anything, now's your time. I'm open. Also, if you are still in the stream, I see there's only 3 likes. Please hit that like button while you're here. Make sure you're being a little bit interactive when you're in the stream. It does help it to get out to more of the people that follow me. I'd love for more people to be able to see these streams on a weekly basis. I try to put a lot into them to keep a fun, simple, like relaxed project. You know, some chill energy and just getting through the Sunday morning. So please be sure to drop a like or a comment or something. Just be engaged with the stream so that other people can see it as well. And I'm sure all of you subscribe, but if you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you'll get notified whenever well, I guess hit subscribe and bell and notifications turned on to all and all that stuff so the YouTube actually knows that you're interested in my stuff. Otherwise, even the subscribed people don't necessarily see everything that I release. Next week, I think I'll probably be finishing the Shosugiban on stream. So if you've never seen somebody do Shosugiban, I'll be playing with fire next weekend. So the inside of the frame still needs to be done. I did the outside of the frame for actual like shot video for the build video that I'm hoping to get out soon. But the inside and stuff like that, I'll do some cool shots on how to get that done. It's a lot more complex than you'd think. It's not just burn it and then you're done. You've got to kind of burn it consistently to get that consistent color. And then you got to brush it off real quick and then make sure you get the finish on quick enough. But I'll walk through all that next week. But if nobody has any questions, if everybody's all good and everybody's had enough of me, we can go ahead and end the stream there. But if anybody has any questions, please drop them in the comments. I am staring right at the screen right now if you need anything. Looks like we're done. Okay. Well, cool. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed watching me build a mailbox post. Not the most exciting project, but something I needed to get done around the house anyway. I'll share pictures of that once it's all installed and done on my Instagram. You can follow me there at the Wood.Work.LIFE. I'll put the pictures up on Twitter as well if that's more your weapon of choice. I'm at Wood.Work.LIFE over there. And make sure you're subscribed. Go ahead and drop a like on the video before you get out of here. Thanks for watching today, and remember to keep your tools sharp and keep your mind sharper. And end stream somehow. Stop.